What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully you all are doing quite well. This is Star Wars Collector, and today we're back on the newest map in Galactic Siege. This map dropped on Friday, and I'm recording this on a Sunday, so it came out roughly 2 days ago. If you clicked on this video and thought, oh, this is Star Wars, but I don't understand what Galactic Siege is, let me quickly break it down for you. And for my returning viewers, don't worry, I'm not going to explain every single time I do a Galactic Siege video what Galactic Siege is, since this game mode is a month old, and I also constantly hear during the game itself, this is my first game, I thought it'd be a great opportunity just to continuously educate people on what this game mode is really all about. If you ever played the original Star Wars Battlefronts or even the newer EA Star Wars Battlefronts, think of that but now with a Fortnite skin on it. Every class has their own unique weapons, abilities, and equipments, and heroes and villains as well as vehicles is dedicated to select maps. And that's all you really need to know about Galactic Siege. But now let's talk about the Endor map itself. This is the third map we've gotten in this game mode. It feels as if we're getting a new map every 1 to 2 weeks, to which I say, awesome. Keep them coming, keep the game alive, keep it fresh, keep it exciting. But who's to say the developers already don't have a pre-dedicated list of maps they've worked on previously, and then they're just now over time sprinkling out the new maps. But then you look at other games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc., any shooter for that matter, they generally come out with a new map every content cycle for them, which is typically a season, which again would last around 3 months. And keep in mind when we talk about Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc., these are full developers with full developer budgets, and these people who are developing these type of games really aren't. So every time we do get a new map, I'm just always constantly impressed not only how the map looks and feels, but just how quickly they're able to pump them out. But this map truly invokes the style of Endor. The trees, the down AT-AT, the X-Wings, etc. It really makes you feel like you're running through Endor. I know this is Fortnite, but I still think they nailed the lighting of this map as well. And just like every map they came out with so far, you do get some nods back to the original film. Of course, you can't have Endor without the shield bunker. You also get to see in the distance the shield generator radar. This map also comes with a brand new hero, Chewbacca. Now, if you've been playing this game for quite a bit of time now, or maybe it's your first time jumping in, you might have noticed something. Chewbacca is just a reskin of a current hero that we already have, also with new weapons, of course. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you're playing as Rey or even the Mandalorian and other maps, you're also simultaneously leveling up Chewbacca and vice versa, because they're all kind of the same character, which is a total stark contrast to Star Wars Battlefront, because Star Wars Battlefront had each individual character be their own character, meaning you had to level them up individually. But again, this is Fortnite, it's a little bit more simplified, so it doesn't bother me all that much. And as you can see, I'm playing as a rebellion here, and on the Empire side for the hero, you don't get anyone new, you just get Palpatine again. And for the Endor map, it makes sense to have Palpatine or even Vader as the hero, or technically villain. But I think that Chewbacca is a great refreshment to the hero cycle that we already had, even though he's technically like a reskin like we talked about before. But they could have also brought in Luke, they could have brought in Han or Leia, or really any of the Rebellion characters. And I'm sure they will as time and maps go on. The next map I would personally love to see is a Cloud City map with Lando Calrissian as the hero. And for the villain side, they can get Boba Fett as their own hero. Heroes aside for this map, one interesting concept they brought in was vehicles to the Endor map. Now, if we look at other maps we have for Galactic Siege that do have vehicles, such as Navarro or even the Hoth-inspired map, we obviously get a big landscape to fly around in because there's not a lot of debris or trees or anything that kind of obstructs our flying path. And narratively, it makes sense since we did see some ships fly around those areas. But during the Battle of Endor, there were no starships flying around. Most of the ships, if not all the ships, were completely in space. So I did find it kind of odd that they did add starfighters such as the X-Wing and TIE fighters to this map. Unlike Navarro and unlike the Hoth planet map, they were relatively open, but you do have trees and debris in the way, which makes flying a little bit more cumbersome. Not saying it's impossible by any means, but it definitely is a lot harder. You most likely will crash into a tree or even a down AT-AT when chasing a player. But I also kind of understand since the map is a little bit more on the wider side, so including a vehicle kind of helped fill the gap. Another thing I really enjoy about the map is that the A, B, and C is all completely different in terms of terrain. This map has some verticality and scale to it compared to something like the Tatooine map that we got with the Sandcrawler. And that's not me saying the Tatooine map is bad by any means necessary. I actually really enjoy every single map they've been putting out. But when you add verticality to the map, as well as things such as rocks, trees, or even down ships, it adds not only just non-linear path toward the enemy, but it also provides us an obstacle we have to get around, which makes it feel a lot more immersive. And I'm 100% for that. I also really don't have anything negative to say about the map in any way, shape, or form. I think my only little bit of criticism, and this is a very minor one at that, is the map sometimes does feel a little bit more open, but that's not also a bad thing. I know that might sound a little contradictory, but let me explain. But having a too open map would mean generally you can't find enemies, or maybe you can't find the action as quickly as you would like. And traversing from point to point can feel more like a challenge than an actual goal. And for some, that could completely ruin their experience. But here's also where the contradictory part comes into play. While the map does seem a little bit more open than others, this truly allows you to really take in Endor and all the details of the map a little bit more casually. You can run around and explore the shield bunker itself, run around and look at all the foliage and trees, look at the down AT-ATs and vehicles, as well as looking at the shield radar above, while also simultaneously looking at all the landing platforms. I know this is Fortnite, but I still think this is such a beautiful map. I also understand they tried to mitigate some of the dead space by adding additional AI bots here, which is completely fine, but I think more players would have been more suitable. They did so just so that way the map feels a little bit more full with life, and that way you can also get experience by destroying some of the bots, get some experience for your characters, and also get you into the action a little bit quicker. And if you're like me who wants to level up each and every class in this game mode, then this is a great opportunity for you to do so a lot quicker. But adding bots into maps like this, or even generally game modes like this, doesn't come without its own consequence. But I'm guessing maybe adding more players or just increasing the player count overall might stress out the map or servers a little bit more. Truly, I don't know, nor am I a developer, so I really can't comment too much, but again, just going completely on speculation. But here's where the consequence comes into play. That being said, it adds a lot more of a casual feel to the game rather than it being something more serious. But I understand this is Fortnite, this is not some major league gaming type of situation like a Call of Duty, so you want to keep things more fun and casual for all ages, since Fortnite does range in all ages as well. But personally, I would love to see a little bit more players running around the map than some of the bots. But I'm truly having a great time with this game mode. It's a ton of fun, and I'm really still impressed with how quickly we're getting some of the new maps. I did a video previously regarding the Navarro map, and in that video I'd suggested a couple new features or even additional mechanics inside the game mode itself to keep it more fresh and alive, just so that way you can kind of have more of this prolonged experience. And if you did miss that video, I will link it down below just so that way you can also get caught up. And if you got this far in the video, I personally would love to hear from you. What kind of maps, modes, features, etc. would you add to this game mode to keep it fresh? Any and all ideas are welcome. Also tell me down below, what is your personal thoughts of the Endor map so far? And very quick shout out to the developers of this game mode. Now, I know you're probably never going to watch this channel or even see this video, but regardless, thank you for making such a fun and entertaining Star Wars experience. And that just wraps it up about here. Thank you ever so much for watching or even clicking on the video in general. If you love this style of content, Star Wars gameplay, collectible news, etc., consider subscribing and also leaving this video a like. It would be beyond appreciated, but I'll leave you with the last 40 seconds or so of gameplay here. Again, thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you, and take care.
Wait, that's not a typical Jedi. A rogue Force wielder has joined the fight. Be careful out there.